Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be back here today. I hope you're all fine, you're all doing great. So in today's tutorial, I'll be walking you through on how to make this lovely scrunchy headband. So if this is the first time you're seeing my video or the first time you're visiting my channel, you are highly welcome to the family. Please kindly hit on the subscribe button and the notification bell so as to get notified when I upload new videos. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for the love, thank you for the support. I really appreciate you guys. So to make your scrunchy headband, you'll be needing these materials. You'll be needing your office pin, you'll be needing your fabric. This fabric is called Duchess, so I'll be making use of this. And then I'll be making use of my elastic. This is 1 inch elastic. I'll be making use of this. Also, I'm making use of this screwdriver or my safety pin. I don't have a safety pin, so I'll be using the screwdriver. So let's dive into the video. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric, and this is folded into 2. Also, this is the main part of the fabric, which is the part that will be standing on the head. So I used 20 inches for the length of this fabric. You know, it's on fold. By the time you open it up, it will give us 40 inches, and the main length of the fabric is 39 inches. I added extra 1 inches for the sewing allowance. That makes it 40 inches. So for the wideness, I used 8 inches for the length and then extra 1 inches for the sewing allowance. So we'll put this aside. So after cutting out the main fabric, we'll be cutting out another fabric for the lining. So the lining is going to be inside the main fabric. So I used, for the length of this lining, 14.5 inches. So I added extra 1 inches for the sewing allowance, and then for the wideness I used 3.5 inches for that. We'll be putting this aside too to cut out the elastic casing. So for the length of fabric for the elastic casing, I'll be using 15 inches for the length, and then I added extra 1 inches for the sewing allowance. So for the wideness, I'll be using 3.75 inches for the wideness of the elastic casing. So after doing that, what we would want to go ahead to do is you pick this main fabric and then you fold it into 2 as I am doing. You fold it very well like this, and then you use your office pin to pin it down. I'll begin pinning it down all the way to the other end of the fabric. So on these parts, we'll be using 1/2 inches to sew it all the way down like this. We'll sew it down. So I'll be pinning down this part too. I'll be pinning down the elastic casing. I'll fold it into 2 and then use my office pin to pin it down. So I'll be using 1/2 inches to sew this part down too, all the way to the tip of the fabric. So I'll be doing the same thing for this lining casing too. I'll fold it into 2 like this and then use my office pin to pin it down. I'll be using 1/2 inches to sew this down too, so I'll take them to the machine to stitch down. This is how it is after I was done stitching them down. Can you see them? So I'll begin to remove the office pin from them. After doing that, I'll be using my screwdriver to turn them to the other side. I'm done turning them to the other side. The next thing you would want to do is to insert your lining into the main fabric. So I'll pick the lining and I'll begin to insert it into the main fabric like this. You continue doing that. On this end of the fabric, you would want to pin down your lining together with the main fabric so the lining doesn't disappear into the fabric. So you pin it down just as I am doing. So you will continue inserting the lining into the fabric with your screwdriver until it gets to the under end of the fabric. You will pin down this other end too, just as you did at the other side. You can see after passing the lining into the main fabric, you're already getting that scrunch effect, and it's looking really nice, as you can see. So at this end of the fabric, we'll be stitching down these parts. We'll stitch down both sides of it. So we'll be putting this aside to work on the elastic casing. So for the elastic measurements, you'll be needing 7.5 inches length of elastic. You'll be needing 7.5 inches. You know, I said it's 1 inches wideness of elastic I'll be using. So we'll be inserting this into the elastic casing. So on this end of the elastic casing, you would want to pin down the elastic and the lining together so that the elastic won't disappear into the fabric. So you pin it down just as I am doing. Use your office pin to pin it down. After doing that, you use your screwdriver to continue inserting the elastic into the fabric until it gets to the other end. So you will pin down this end too. So you should have your elastic casing looking like this. Can you see? It's looking really nice. The next thing you would do is to stitch down these parts. You stitch down the other part of it too, and then the main fabric. So we'll take it to the machine to sew. This is how it should look after you're done stitching it down. Can you see the ends? This is it. I'm done stitching them down. So I'll begin to remove the pins on it. So I'm done removing the pins. As you can see, what I'll be doing next is to pick this main fabric, and then one end of it will be placing our elastic casing on it. You look for the middle part of it, and then you place it on the middle part of the end like this. You pick this side of the fabric, you place it on the elastic casing just as I am doing, and then you pick the under end too. You place it on it like this. So you'll be pinning it down because we'll be stitching that area. So we'll be doing the same thing for the other end of the fabric too. So we'll be picking the other end of the main fabric to place it on the middle part like this, and then you place this part of the fabric on the elastic casing. You place the other side of it too, so you pin it down like this. So we'll be stitching down these parts of the fabric. We'll stitch both sides and take it to the machine to sew. So this is it after I was done stitching it down. Can you see? So I'll remove the pins, and then I'll trim these out like this. So by the time you're done trimming that out, you turn this part inward like this, just as I did. Can you see? After turning it inward like that, the sewing isn't showing. Can you see that? So we'll be doing that to the other side. So we'll turn it inward like this. As you can see, the sewing isn't showing at all. This really came out nice. If you ask me, it really came out nice. Thank you for watching up to these moments. We're actually done with this tutorial. Thank you for the love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for always watching my videos. I love you all. And if you have any question concerning this tutorial, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.